When I was in my last year of Bible college in 1963, one of my professors said, someday, after you finish your studies, after you've finished your teaching or your career, and you have time, let me encourage you to read the two-volume work entitled The Life and Times of Jesus the Messiah by Alfred Edersheim. And I have to say, I am 79 years of age and I haven't read it through yet. But at this time, when we're experiencing a time more of isolation, I'm in retirement as well. I thought, why not follow his advice and begin to read a little bit along with the other work that I'm putting out on YouTube, my grammars, etc. So I picked it up and I was looking at the preface of the first edition, which was published in 1883. And I thought what I would do is give what he has to say in that preface it just really was an encouragement to me. And then also give a meditative thought from one of his chapters about the nativity of Jesus. In the preface, he makes the statement in a remote, this is on page 18, Roman numeral 18 of volume 1. In a remote country parish, entirely isolated from all social intercourse. Reminds us of today with the pandemic and everything that is raging. And amidst, he says, not a few trials. Parochial duty has been diversified and relieved by many hours of daily work and of study, delightful in and for itself. He goes on to say, I could give days of undisturbed work to what to others might perhaps seem secondary, but was all important to me. It says, and so these 7 years passed, and his only companion was his daughter to finish this work. He called this his apology, pro vita mea, apologia, pro vita mea, that is, apology for my life. And he concluded the preface by saying, Lord, to whom shall we go? The words of eternal life hast thou, and we have believed and know that thou art the Holy One of God. I thought that was a beautiful preface. And as I was reading this the other night, my mind went to the chapter on the nativity of Jesus. And since we are looking for the Advent very shortly, I thought these words would be apropos. This is on page 180 of volume 1. Such then was the hope of the promise made of God unto the fathers, for which the 12 tribes, instantly serving God night and day, longed with such vividness that they read it in almost every event and promise, with such earnestness that it ever was the burden of their prayers, with such intensity that many and long centuries of disappointment have not quenched it. Its light, comparatively dim in days of sunshine and calm, seemed to burn brightest in the dark and lonely nights of suffering, as if each gust that swept over Israel only kindled it into fresh flame. To the question whether this hope has ever been realized, or rather, whether one has appeared whose claims to the Messiahship have stood the test of investigation and of time, impartial history can make only one answer. It points to Bethlehem and to Nazareth. He has, at least undoubtedly, fulfilled one part of the mission prophetically assigned to the Messiah. Whether or not he be the Lion of the tribe of Judah, to him assuredly has been the gathering of the nations, and the isles have waited for his law. Passing the narrow bounds of obscure Judea, he has made the sublimer teaching of the Old Testament the common possession of the world, and founded a great brotherhood, of which the God of Israel is the Father. He also alone has exhibited a life in which absolutely no fault could be found, and promulgated a teaching to which absolutely no exception can be taken. Admittedly, he was the one perfect man, the ideal of humanity. His doctrine, the one absolute teaching. The world has known none other, none equal. And the world has owned it, if not by the testimony of words, yet by the evidence of facts. Springing from such a people, born, living, and dying in circumstances, and using means the most unlikely of such results, the man of Nazareth has by universal consent been the mightiest factor in our world's history, alike politically, socially, intellectually, and morally. If he be not the Messiah, he has at least thus far done the Messiah's work. If he is not the Messiah, there has at least been none other before or after him. I thought that was a great section, a great, can I say, quote that I wanted to share from Alfred Edersheim, a wonderful writer of the life and times of Jesus the Messiah.